Hey friends, just a quick and rough video to show you all how I made my satin and organza roses. So I made big ones and little ones. So I'll show you how I made these. Some things that you need: hot glue gun, you need a bucket or a plate or a bowl or something just to put all your little pieces in, a lighter, some scissors, a business card, a toothpick, petroleum jelly, and some ribbon. For the small ones, I used 7/8 of an inch or 22 millimeters. And for the big ones, I used the 1.5 inch or 38 millimeter ribbons. Again, I did satin and organza. I just pulled these out to show you. I also recommend that you go to the hardware store and you get a piece of cheap tile, and that is going to help so that as you're gluing things, you don't accidentally pull the finish off of your table like I did over here and a couple of other spots over here. So lesson learned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut our ribbon. I already have some pieces pre-cut, but I will show you how I got that size. I used the business card so that I didn't have to measure. So I take my business card, line it up on the edge there, pick it up, and flip. So I flip this depending on how many petals I want to make of whichever color. So I keep flipping. Doesn't have to be super tight. They're not all going to be exactly the same size. And then you slide your scissors underneath and you cut there. Then I flip it over. I cut this one here and then go underneath and cut there. And that's how you get roughly the perfect sizes. For the smaller ones, I modified the business card. I just kept cutting the sides until I was happy with the little petals. Then I'm going to show you how they get folded and glued in place. So you're going to take your first piece, wrong side facing you. And I am going to do all of these so you don't have to keep going back to the video to see how I did it. So I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to fold it in so that this rough edge is lined up with the bottom of the ribbon. I'm going to hold it in place there. I'm going to use my hot glue gun and just slide a little dab of the hot glue, take the corner and bring it in. I'll try and do it in a different angle so that all sides are seen. So take it in further this way, fold it in, little drop of the glue, fold it over, and press and hold. I don't really know. Let me see if maybe I can zoom in. No, I can't. Okay. Then I'm going to have a petal. I'm not going to worry about any of these little like frayed edges because I'm going to take care of those at the end. But that's what the finished petal looks like. And I'm going to put it in my bucket. So for my flowers, I did 3 colors. I did white, I did lemon yellow, and then I did this creamy color. And I did the same thing with the organzas. I found comparable colors. So I have the lemon yellow, the cream, and the white transparent organza. And it kind of has like a little shimmery finish to it. So again, wrong side facing you. Take the first corner, fold it over so that you have a 45-degree angle. You have straight line here, straight line there. It doesn't have to be exact. I hope you can see where I'm putting the glue. If not, I'll actually assume that you can't and then do it again. Okay, so when I take my corner and I fold it in, bear with me because I'm still working on my manual dexterity after my surgery. So when you fold it, I'm going to put a piece of glue right here. I can show you. Right there is where my glue goes, in that little corner. That way when I bring this corner in and I fold it in, I'm gluing this to this and then the point to this. So, no, I can't do it that way. Let's go that way. Glue, fold it in, and hold. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with the organza. I would recommend you use less glue because it does go right through and it can burn your fingers. I don't worry about the strings of glue either. So you can see it kind of flattens it out there. I'm sorry, the video's a little shaky. I keep hitting my new stand. I'm not used to having it there. There you go. And do one more. And I'll show you how I start putting them together. Okay. So after you finish getting some of them together, I'll do those other two later, I take my bowl and I toss them. That way, when I reach in, it's completely random. Although I will admit that if I end up with a row of more than like 3 of the same kind or same color, I purposefully pick a different color or a different material because I want it to be random and I want each flower to be unique. So I'm gonna take my bowl, mix it up, take my first one, take the next color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put a bead of glue. There we go. I'm gonna put a bead of glue right here along this straight edge, and then I'm going to take the next petal and I'm going to use this straight edge and I'm going to put it on the top. So it's going to have an overlap like that. So a little bit of glue and overlap. Get something out of my bowl, little glue and overlap. For each large flower, I made 24 petals, 4 of each color. So I have 12 organza and 12 satin. These I had prepared beforehand, and then I remembered I needed to make a video. And what I'm doing, you notice how it's starting to curve? That's because I'm not worried about that edge. I'm only worried about lining up straight edge of my petal to straight edge of my fold. Again, not worrying about what color I grab. You continue that process until you make all the petals. Now I already have a strand complete for my small flowers, so I'll just grab that and show it to you. So here it is, a whole little chain of petals. So after I'm done gluing them all in place, notice that the fold is facing me. I now take it and flip it over so that the fold is facing downward. I take it and I coil it on my tile. So when you're done, you should have almost a circle. I'm going to take my toothpick and some petroleum jelly. I'm going to put it on the toothpick. I am going to put some, let me just flip this over real quick. I'm gonna take some glue and I'm gonna add it from here, going toward the center of my flower. And I'm only gonna work with about 3 petals at a time. So the petroleum jelly helps you take out the toothpick before the glue sets. So a small bead of hot glue. You don't need a lot. Take it, I'm gonna put my toothpick in the middle of my petal and I'm gonna fold it and hold for just a moment, long enough for it to dry, and then I'm gonna pull the toothpick out. So the toothpick just really helps you get it started. And I'm gonna begin to roll. As I roll, I'm not doing it tightly because I want a puffy flower. So just rolling nice and slow, because I want the edges to be semi-even, or as even as you can get them. Small little bead, gently rolling the flower, but making sure that there aren't any gaps. Meaning I had made some flowers where I was a little too loose and then you ended up with a gap when you looked inside the flower. I was able to go back after the fact and add a drop of glue, and it was fine, but I did want to make sure I mentioned that to you guys. Get that out of here, I don't need it. So, keep rolling. And I'm going to take care of all those frays and all those strings as soon as I'm done. As you're getting to the organza, keep your fingers away. It does get hot, and then now you're fighting with the organza gluing to your fingers as you're trying to roll. I did not put any glue on that last petal because I'm going to show you what I do with that one. So on the last petal, I also, not only do I add glue down here, but I also put a little bit up the side to finish off the flower. And I go up a little. Okay. Now that that's all done, I'm gonna press it in to get it as flat as I can. Let me see, like that. Okay, but you see how there's still like a little dip in there? That's okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna take my lighter and I'm gonna singe it, and that's gonna get rid of all the little frays, and it's gonna melt that little bit of extra glue. Now I'm gonna take it while it's hot, put it onto my tile, and press down on my flower. I'm gonna smush it in. That's going to make it flat around the bottom, and it's gonna start separating these petals. And I'm gonna use my fingers and brush them outward. Peel it off. And there it is. Then I can take these and do whatever I wish with them. If you're gonna use these for like a silk arrangement, I would use a stick that is going to actually be the permanent stem of the flower, but I would use some lace to finish off the bottom and really highlight each flower. But there it is. And then I use that and I put it in with the rest of them. And until I have enough of them, I just repeat the process. So one more time, review on the petals. Take your piece, fold 45-degree corner, dab it in the corner, the bottom corner. Bring the edge to meet it. Fold, dab of glue, fold again. On the organza, same, fold, dab, fold. Fold, dab, fold. Sometimes you'll notice that some of them are a little longer than others, and that's okay. That's what makes the flowers better, I think. Anyway, that's it. I hope that that was helpful. Bye.